Hi everyone, and welcome to an art lesson based on perspective. Perspective is a technique that artists have used to develop depth in their pictures. And what I'm going to do is a number of different demonstrations showing you some of these tricks. Then you can have a go in your own drawings. Okay, here we go.
So we're going to start off with the simplest form of perspective, which is called one-point perspective. First thing you're going to need is what's called an eye line. This is a construction line which is going to help you to draw your three-dimensional objects. Don't worry about using a ruler, you can just work freehand, it's absolutely fine, and if the line is a little bit wobbly, it really doesn't matter. On that line I'm going to put one cross. That's called the vanishing point, and because this is one-point perspective we're only going to have one of those. Now I'm going to draw a square. Again, freehand is absolutely fine. I want to make that square into a cube. So what I'm going to do is from every corner, I'm going to draw a line to the vanishing point. At the moment, that looks like a great long sort of square section tube, but I'm the artist and I can decide how deep that's going to be. So I'm going to decide the shape is going to stop there. Now, I'm going to draw a line that's parallel, the same as that line there, like that. And then I'm going to draw a line down, like that. And there we've got our three-dimensional cube. If we want to make it look even more three-dimensional, we might even put a bit of shading in on the side, perhaps some at the top as well. Okay. Because this shape is below the eye line, we can see the top of it. So it looks like we're looking down on it. If I drew another cube, start off with a square again up here. Guidelines, freehand, once again, it's absolutely fine. Guideline to that vanishing point and draw lines in. Like that. Define them a bit. Okay. If I drew a cube actually on the eye line, like that, you're not going to be able to see the top or the bottom, but you are going to be able to see the side. Like that. And what you could do is you could draw a whole range of different flying cubes, different sizes, all going back to that one vanishing point. Do another one up here. So do you see how very, very quickly you can develop a drawing that has shapes in it that have got lots and lots of depth? One more on here. There we go, like that. And as I say, this is called one-point perspective. There is the one point. You could perhaps imagine this being a load of tower blocks, skyscrapers, and you're looking down at them from above, from a helicopter perhaps. And if that was the case, you might extend those shapes so they're even longer. Like that. Why don't you have a go? One-point perspective. See if you can do it. So this time we're going to use one-point perspective again, but we're going to use it to help us to draw a scene. We're going to be drawing a road with countryside around the road. It takes a little bit longer, this one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed the footage up. So that's how you can draw a straight road using 1-point perspective, and then the landscape around it, that's completely up to you how you develop that. But what if you want to draw a road that has got some bends in it? Well, you can still use 1-point perspective to do that as well, and I'll show you how. Once again, you want your eye line, and let's start off with the one vanishing point, and then we draw the road going off to that vanishing point. And that road, as you can see, is straight and it goes on forever. But we want it to bend. So I'm going to decide at this point here, it's going to start bending off to the right. So I'm going to ignore that vanishing point now, and I'm going to draw myself in a new vanishing point. It's still 1-point perspective because we're not using that one anymore, we're using that one. And then from these points here, I'm going to draw guidelines over to that vanishing point. Okay, so that bit of the road is fine. This bit here, I'm just going to rub that back so it doesn't confuse. We're ignoring that now, that bit. At this point here, the road is going to bend round even further. Another vanishing point. I'm ignoring that one, and I'm going to put guidelines in over to that one now. And then at this point here, I'm actually going to bend the road back in the opposite direction over to the left, and I will put a new vanishing point again in there, like that. Okay, so if I was then going to draw this windy road, I'm going to round off those edges. So that comes around like that. And around like that, going off into the distance. To make that a bit clearer, I'm just going to rub these guidelines out. Like that. And to make a bit more sense of it, I'm now going to put a bit of landscape in the background, so it's like the roads going into mountains and valleys. Have a few more mountains in the background. Bit of grass and scrub around the edge of the road. I'll just shade in the road as well. Nice and quickly. There you go. So that is putting some bends and some twists in the road, still using 1-point perspective. Yes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different points that we've used, but we've only used them one at a time. And then this area here, the landscape, the sky, you can develop how you want once you've got your basic structures in there. Why don't you have a go at that one? And finally, for this lesson, what if you want a road that's not only winding around, but undulating, going up and down? Well, we can do that with 1-point perspective as well. So once again, you've got your eye line. Once again, start off with one vanishing point, like that, and your straight road. Now, at this point here, I might decide that the road is going to start going uphill slightly. So this time, I'm going to put myself in a new eye line as well as a new vanishing point. So it's going up, so I'm going to raise the eye line. I'll just draw it like that. And it's going up, and it's going to go over to the right slightly. So I'll put the vanishing point there. So from that point there, I put in some new guidelines like that. Then from this point here, it's going to go up even more steeply. So another new eye line, and I'm still having it bending round to the right. So it's now going to go from here to here. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to have it going in the opposite direction from this point here. And I'm going to put in another eye line just there, vanishing point over there, like that. So if I was going to put the curves in now to make it a more realistic looking road, the first thing I need to do is get rid of some of these guidelines which are just going to confuse, so I can really see what I'm drawing. There we go. Like that. And now I can start working the curves around my road. Like that. I'm also going to decide that it's going to hit a brow of a hill, and the brow of the hill is going to be about there. So at that point, the road's going to go back down over the other side. So I'm going to get rid of that bit too. Like that. So this is the brow of the hill. Like that. I've got hills in the background as well. And I might just use a bit of creative license to draw the road in, continuing on the other side of the hill. There we go, and you've got to have some scrub, some bushes around the edge of the road there. Of course, if you're doing this as a full-blown picture, you could then develop it in paint, pencil crayon, whatever you want really. Rub a few more guidelines out to hopefully make a bit more sense of that for you. There we go. So it's not a finished picture by any stretch of the imagination, but hopefully it does show how you can use the one-point perspective to give yourself more natural looking roads. Why don't you have a go? So there you go. A number of different drawing techniques there that you could use to help you develop more depth in your drawings. Why don't you have a go? And why not perhaps even take them on into full-blown paintings? Hope you enjoyed that. Good luck with it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.